My charming and fair-minded Libra friend, hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Libra, this week you may feel a gentle ache beneath the surface, a quiet longing not so much for something you don't have, but for a kind of emotional clarity you can almost taste. There's a softness in your demeanor that those close to you might sense, even if you don't name it aloud. Stillness can sometimes mask restlessness, and you might catch yourself scanning your own motives for hidden truths. Perhaps you find yourself holding back a feeling, unsure whether to trust a new tenderness or to keep it safely tucked away. The world asks for your balance, but inside your scales tip back and forth, measuring a hope that hasn't quite announced itself. You may notice a subtle tension between what you show and what you quietly nurture, a wish to be seen but only by the right eyes. There's a sense that something is about to begin, even if you can't yet see what that is. This week, your emotional world feels like a lake at dawn, calm, reflective, but with the faintest ripple promising movement. In this gentle invitation to look inward, the Ace of Cups rises like a morning sun on your horizon. You may not realize how full your heart is until you pause to listen. There is a freshness in your feelings, a readiness to be open, even if you hesitate to let that openness spill out. You might notice that certain moments catch you off guard, an unexpected conversation, a song that lingers, the simple kindness of a friend. These moments stir something deep, asking you to let your guard soften. Sometimes vulnerability feels like risk, especially when you're not sure who might be listening, but right now there's a quiet bravery in your willingness to feel. The ache you sense is actually the first note of a new emotional chapter. It's not dramatic or overwhelming. Instead, it's gentle, like a door left ajar on a warm evening. You could find yourself sitting with feelings you didn't expect: gratitude, longing, curiosity. There's no need to rush to define these sensations. Your inner state is tender, honest, and full of the quiet courage it takes to let feelings rise without needing to control them. Even if you feel uncertain, there's a real beauty in that uncertainty. When you let your emotions breathe, you discover that what you're experiencing is not emptiness, but the beginning of something truly alive within you. The world may not see the shift yet, but inside you know you're ready to let the heart lead, even if that only means letting yourself be moved. As your heart stirs and your inner world opens, you might notice new possibilities emerging in the world around you. That gentle vulnerability doesn't stay contained. It asks for a response, and life begins to answer. Your openness quietly calls forth new energy, inviting fresh beginnings and unexpected opportunities. The path ahead feels less like a straight line and more like a series of doors, each one responding to the way you're feeling inside. You begin to notice where your desire meets the world's invitation. Every emotional ripple inside you creates a subtle wave in your day-to-day life, shifting how you see your choices and what you're drawn to. The way you hold your feelings shapes the route you walk, each step informed by the quiet trust you're beginning to nurture. On this new terrain, the Ace of Wands makes itself known. The world seems to pulse with fresh energy, and you may feel a sudden spark to act, to create, or to say yes to something that's been quietly calling you. This isn't the heavy pressure of obligation, it's more like the hum of excitement that comes just before you try something new. You might feel the friction between the comfort of familiar routines and the urge to break free, to follow an impulse that feels both risky and thrilling. It could show up as a creative idea that won't let go, a conversation that pushes you out of your usual rhythm, or an urge to start something without knowing where it will lead. The momentum is real, but it isn't frantic. Instead, it feels like the world is gently nudging you, asking if you're ready to take a step into the unknown. There may be moments when this new energy brushes up against your need for balance, and you feel the tension between keeping the peace and honoring your own spark. The pressure is subtle but insistent, a reminder that you don't have to have every answer before you begin. The friction you encounter isn't a sign to stop. It's simply the heat that comes from letting something new come to life. Even if you feel some resistance, inside yourself or from others, there's a sense that your willingness to engage will shape how this week unfolds. The world is responding to your openness, offering you a chance to move from feeling to action, from yearning to beginning. This movement forward does not happen by accident. The energy of the week asks for your conscious participation. It's easy to let momentum carry you, but the real potential comes when you meet these moments with awareness. Each opportunity, each spark is shaped by your choice to acknowledge what you're feeling and to decide how you want to respond. The future isn't fixed, it forms around the attention you give it. Growth asks for more than just hope, it asks for your presence. You are not simply reacting, you are invited to be part of what happens next. The more you show up for the truth of your experience, the more possibility you create for yourself. Your potential is not something waiting far ahead. It is woven into the way you engage with what is right in front of you. With the 9 of Wands, your potential is revealed not as a final victory, but as a steady, resilient strength. The week's journey may bring you moments where you question whether you have the stamina to keep opening, to keep caring, or to keep showing up. You might notice old doubts resurfacing, asking if you're strong enough to continue when things feel uncertain or when vulnerability becomes uncomfortable. This is not a sign of weakness, but of growth. The 9 of Wands doesn't promise that everything will be easy, but it does mark the point where you realize how far you've come. Each time you've allowed yourself to feel, to act, to stay present rather than retreat, you've gathered a quiet confidence. The invitation here is to honor your persistence, to recognize that showing up for yourself, even when it feels hard, is a kind of strength all its own. You are not called to push or to force anything. Instead, you are invited to notice how resilience is built in small, ordinary acts of courage. As the week unfolds, you might sense that your openness has made you more capable, not less. You can carry tenderness and strength together, and in doing so, you find a new kind of balance, one that is earned through lived experience. The growth available to you now is not about becoming someone else, but about realizing the depth of who you already are. Looking back across these 3 chapters, the quiet beginnings of the Ace of Cups, the energized invitation of the Ace of Wands, and the steady strength of the 9 of Wands, a clear thread emerges. Your week is a movement from feeling to action to endurance, each stage asking for a different kind of attention. You start with a heart open to new experience, letting yourself be moved by what is honest and real. That openness calls forth new opportunities, and even when those opportunities bring friction, you trust yourself enough to try. When the world asks you to keep going, you find that your own persistence is enough. There is no need to rush or to force outcomes. The beauty of this week lies in the way you allow yourself to flow, to adapt, to remain true to what matters most, your own inner truth. The emotional tension you began with softens into a newfound assurance. You see that your willingness to begin again, to say yes even when uncertain, is the foundation for everything that follows. In this there is quiet reassurance. You are capable of meeting whatever arises, not because you always know what to do, but because you are willing to be present for your own experience. The world asks for your balance, and you discover that true balance is possible only when you let yourself feel, act, and endure in equal measure. This week, let reassurance settle in. You are not alone in your journey. The path is yours, and your resilience is real. Actionable insights for Libra this week. You might gently try allowing small feelings to surface, even if they seem unimportant at first. You could spend a few minutes each day noticing what genuinely excites you, no matter how simple it seems. If you feel worn down, try pausing to acknowledge how far you've already come rather than focusing on what's left to do. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I allow my heart to soften just enough to feel. I notice what truly sparks my interest today. Each step I take comes from my own center. My resilience is steady, strong, and real. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.